In this 2017 mock paper, there was a statistics question worth 55 marks. And we are given a table here and the average rent for a 2-bed apartment in areas of Dublin nearly 10 years ago. You can see the most expensive ones are down in the IFSC area, 2,000 a month. We want to live in Balbriggan, 820. So Daft wish to carry out a similar study in Cork and suggest what sampling method they might use to collect their data. So what do you know about sampling methods? Stratified sampling is normally the one that I would give for this. Let's see the definition of it. You can read it here yourself. I think the most important thing about stratified is it ensures that every characteristic is properly represented in the sample and the characteristics are diverse. So stratified sampling is a good one to use in this case, I think. Part B of the question is calculator use. You're asked to get the mean, so X bar on your calculator, and you're asked to get the standard deviation. Sigma on your calculator gives the two answers here, so put in all the data. That was in part A, and the answers to these two are 1373. It doesn't say to the nearest euro, so I'll give it to 2 decimal places, 33. And for the standard deviation, it's coming in at 318 to the nearest euro and 19 cent if it's rounded to cents. So calculator use statistics question, highly likely to come up most years. Make sure you know how to use your calculator before going into the exam. Part C tells us that previous year's statistics have shown rents across Dublin. They're always normally distributed for us, so we have our normal distribution curve. In the middle we have the average, which we got to be 1373, 33. And we're asked what is the range of rents. You would expect to find 95% of these, so this is your 68, 95, 99.9%, with your 1, 2 and 3 standard deviations away from the mean. So we're looking for 2 standard deviations away from the mean. Will give us 95% in the middle. So it's going to be 1373, 33 plus 2 standard deviations. We got 31819, and it's going to be 1373.33 minus 2 standard deviations. And the answers to these two will be my range. So at the lower end, 736.95. At the higher end, 2009.71. In part D of this question, you're asked to choose 6 areas. So I would just take the first 6 maybe, or 6 that have a change in their rents. We're looking at the change between 2014, which is this table, and 2015. You're asked to comment on any trends. So if we compare Balbriggan 754 to 821, you can see it's going up. Blackrock 1332 to 1420. Booterstown 1468. City West 1077. So the trends are definitely upward. 1521 for Dalkey from 1419, and 973 for Donabate. So I would maybe do something like a side-by-side bar chart, 2014 and 2015, something along these lines, and do 6 of them side by side, and you're going to see an increase for all 6. That's what they're looking for in part D. Part E, like some of these statistics questions can be really easy. Does this graph support our claim that the rents are going up? And we have the 2014 solid line and the dotted line for 2015. So we can clearly see here the dotted line pretty much all points is above. Maybe it's kind of equal there, but it is above, so yes, it does support our claim. And then explain why. The dotted line is clearly above the solid line, showing an increase in rent from 2014 to 2015. The last part, part F, it's claimed, we have to do a confidence interval here, that a 2-bed apartment in Dublin was $9.94 per month, and an agent conducted a survey of 50 such properties. So we have a sample here. We have n is equal to 50. We have a claim that it's 994. The sample had a mean of 1050. The mean is 1050. So we're testing this sample. Standard deviation 390. And we want to conduct a 95% confidence interval. So we have sigma and n, so 1.96 will be my confidence interval for 2 standard deviations, the more accurate version, plus or minus sigma over root n will be the change that we're looking for here. So what have we got? 1.96 times, plus or minus 1.96 times. I'm making a mistake here. And it's going to be 390 over root 50. So I like getting what this is first, and then we can add it and subtract it from 1050 to see is 994 within that range. This works out to be 108.102, so 108.10. So 1050 plus 108 and 1050 minus 108. That's going to give 1158, and this one will give 942. And we can see here that our range of values for mu will be between 1158 and 942. So the evidence is there to say that the rents of 994 are correct, as they fit inside this confidence interval.